You boom! You want it.
Oh.
How's your daughter? But what made you wanna tell that story? I mean, it's heavy, it's dark. This project,
No,
not
this
another.
was it's never happened to you. Yeah,
No.
right.
So how much of the script was already on the page prior to signing on?
Oh.
It was just a concept. Wow. Because one of the things that I think is so tragic about it is that it's, I think when you think of a divorce story, you imagine much more of a contentious, prickly, almost enemies. But a lot of the movie, there's two people trying to make it work. There's still like an amicable, you're trying to make it work for your kids. So was that part of, did you have input in that? Because I'm assuming even in your experiences, that it hasn't been like, oh, I hate this person. There's still a lot of love for the person.
Right?
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were doing the reshoots for those last couple bits. I don't even know if you were there. You were so in and out because you died. Yeah, it was towards the end of filming that Ryan reached out and sent the script for Knives Out, and I love those movies. Sure. He's wonderful in a lot of ways, and it forces you. I mean, he's very much a plain speaker. He knows what he wants, and right there. But Ryan just has a very he's very taciturn. He's very unapologetic. 2 takes and you're done.
Really?
Yeah. Which, as an actor, you're terrified because if you give me 50 takes, I'll take them. I'd always like more. It takes me a couple days to get comfortable on set to do that. You know what I mean? Because if you ask for more and then they don't get better, it's going to be harder to ask for more in the future. Because if you can't prove that this is going to improve, then you're just wasting time. Because it's intimidating to watch yourself on playback. But Ryan will tell you, when we move on because we got what we needed. You know what I mean? You trust Ryan. If he says we're moving on, we're moving. Sure. She's the only one who came to see me in lobby here.
That's right.
Terrified, almost terrified more in the rehearsal process, just because it's a new medium and I'm surrounded by people in the show who no one else was new. I was the only new one there. A new way of doing what we do. After a while, the process of filmmaking doesn't get stale. You just want to try and find a new way into what has become very familiar. And I think what I was hunting for was that kind of, as opposed to the, action cut. And it truly couldn't have been more the contrary. When you're on stage, it's like, your hair inside, you're just like, ah! A lot of people told me, you're gonna have so much time, you just gotta go to the theater in the afternoon, you got your whole days. I didn't. You're emotionally drained, you're physically exhausted. I just wanted to go to bed, and then before you know it, you're right back at the theater. I think Michael Cera, who's in the show with me, is kind of the moral compass and certainly the one that you identify with as an audience member in terms of what would you do in the scenario. So as he navigates these ebbs and flows, when he would go through things, you could hear the audience, oh, like, true. You know what, you honestly, true, it's fair. That's it, and it really is a testament to what original content. I think original content inspires original content, you know what I mean? I think new stuff is what keeps the creative wheel rolling. I mean, like TV is such a good example for that. Right now, there's unbelievable new stuff. I just believe there's room at the table for all of it, you know what I mean? Like it's like trying to say a certain type of music isn't music. Well, why bother? Who are you to say that? It just feels like a strange, same team. Well, every couple of months I decide I'm done acting. This has been my thing for decades now. I always am looking for a way out. But people in film, just because you know them, and you know what I mean? And I think every actor, no matter who you are, you have to call from your own experiences. So you're always going to say, oh, when I was watching Marriage Story, I was like, man, Scarlett has a way of just, that's not Scarlett. Like, she found, like, even in, like, the subtle, the opening of that movie, like, I was just in love with both of your characters. That's a really sweet thing. Because I think a lot of actors, men and women, have a way of, sometimes I think they get a little, I think being internal and kind of removed, it's mysterious. And it forces the audience to lean in. But if the goal is to reveal